Making headlines tonight, the Attorney General weighs in on recent leaks of sensitive police information. The local economy records 9 months of double-digit growth. Corey Lane sworn in as a minister in the Attorney General's office. And coming up in sports, Ireland stuns England in rain-affected match at the ICC T-20 World Cup.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
I'm Shane Jones, leading the news at 7. No blunder. That's how Attorney General Dale Marshall characterized the action of leaking victims' reports. He believes those responsible should face the harshest possible measures available under the circumstances. Our Crystal Hoyt spoke exclusively to the Attorney General.
The Attorney General of Barbados, Dale Marshall, says the recent leaking of sensitive information by the Barbados Police Service simply could not be a mistake.
They had to have been done intentionally, and it is really the gravest of breaches of public confidence. In any situation where a member of the public goes to the police service to make a complaint, if that information is not kept confidential, then it will almost certainly erode the public confidence.
The AG revealed that there will be consequences.
I've asked that the harshest possible measures available in the circumstances should be visited upon the officer. This calls into question not just the manner in which the police work, but also calls into question the ability of the public to trust the police service.
Investigations are ongoing. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
Thanks, Crystal. The Barbados economy has registered double-digit growth for the first 9 months of this year. That's according to Central Bank Governor Cleviston Haynes, who made the revelation while delivering the bank's third-quarter economic review. The governor says the resurgent tourism sector has been largely responsible for the growth of 10.1%. However, he also says the economy is not yet producing at pre-pandemic levels, but tourism is expected to sustain its rebound for the remainder of this year. The bank also recorded double-digit growth in its half-year review, and he says that trend is expected to continue until year-end.
The Barbados economy is on a path to recovery, and economic growth of approximately 10% is expected for 2022. However, the forecast is for slower global economic activity amid the tightening of financial conditions in advanced economies, the slowdown in production in China, and the potential return of COVID-19 cases during the winter period. The IMF's global growth forecast is now 3.2% for 2022 and 2.7% for 2023, the weakest growth profile since the global financial crisis. This outlook poses a significant downside risk that has been accentuated by the uncertainty in the United Kingdom market. However, the recovery is expected to continue into 2023.
Governor Haynes says that continued recovery will be based on a further upturn in the global tourism sector, coupled with the implementation of large public and private construction projects. He also says Barbadians could start to see reduced prices for some goods going into next year based on global trends.
Based on scenarios encompassing a weaker performance of the UK tourism market, growth is forecast to reach between 3.5% and 5% for 2023. Future prices for energy and food have started to fall as global economic activity slows and global supply chains begin to normalize. These global declines will feature domestically with a lag. The local initiatives to reduce price pressures have started to bear fruit and will provide some ease until the price declines are realized.
Barbadians are being told the island is putting buffers in place and building resilience for future economic shocks. Senior Economic Advisor to the government, Dr. Kevin Greenidge, says the region remains one of the most vulnerable in the world. He says small open economies like ours are exposed, as seen more recently with the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. Dr. Greenidge was addressing an economic forum hosted by the Faculty of Social Sciences of the University of the West Indies at Cave Hill.
It hurts. You have high debt, you have fiscal widening, and it hurts growth because your capital stock is eroded. By the time you start to build back, you get another shock. And therefore, I think that's where we kind of at the moment, and what we need is a comprehensive macro framework, a policy framework that deals with that, deals with the shock and build resilience. I think we have been able to accomplish that to some degree in Barbados right now in terms, for example, when we issue our bonds now, everyone knows we restructure our debt in 2018, moving from 176% to 117% before the pandemic. We went back at 125% of GDP.
Dr. Greenidge sees Barbados as a poster child on debt restructuring. He's reiterated the BERT program was a success and expects the new facility with the International Monetary Fund will build on that.
In the BERT 2022 now, the focus is growth. So what we did, we are saying that we need to target a growth rate of 5%. This economy can grow close to 5%. In the period following the IMF program in 1992, the economy grew 12 out of 14 years to 2008. 2 years it didn't grow was in 9/11 and some other shock, don't remember, both external. And when you look at the time it had the highest growth rate was 3.8 in 2006. So I look at that and what drives growth? We are economic students here, right? What drives growth? The capital to GDP core, right? That's your ratio. Capital drives growth. Investment drives growth.
CARICOM and African Export-Import Afrexim Bank have signed an agreement for the establishment of a partnership between the two entities. The agreement aims to facilitate cooperation, support and provide assistance, and enable the promotion and financing of trade between African countries and CARICOM member states. The agreement was signed by Guyana's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Hugh Todd, and the president of the bank, Professor Benedict Orama, at the Chadijagan International Airport. It was overseen by Barbados Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley, along with the President of Ghana, Dr. Irfan Ali. Before the signing of the agreement, delegations from Barbados and Ghana met with the team from Afrexim Bank. Talks were later held virtually with the governor of the Brazilian state of Roraima. Coming up, new ministers sworn in. Last week, Prime Minister of Barbados Mia Amor-Motley reshuffled her cabinet, and today those changes took effect, resulting in 3 ministers reporting to new ministries. While former Parliamentary Secretary Corey Lane was officially sworn in by President Dame Sandra Mason as Minister of State in the Office of the Attorney General with responsibility for crime prevention. This occurred just after 12 p.m. at State House in the presence of Prime Minister Mia Amor-Motley, Attorney General Dale Marshall, and the new minister's wife, Latoya Lane. Prime Minister Motley expressed confidence in both the Attorney General and Minister Lane.
They can unlock the potential of this country to win this battle, both from a community and social perspective, and similarly from a law enforcement perspective. We also want to be able to ensure that we reach out to communities and communities embrace this fight. This is not, as I said on Saturday, the fight of any one entity or any one department. This is not even the fight of the government or the police alone. This is the fight of all of Barbados.
Minister Lane says he is ready to get to work.
She said this is really a whole of Barbados problem, and therefore we need a whole of Barbados solution. The reality is there seems to be a lot of misunderstanding of what the role is about, but if you think about it, there are many things happening in the government, there are many things happening in civil society and the third sector. That requires coordination. There's also a lot of things that need to be done, and that requires action. And my role is really to coordinate and bring action to those things that are not happening, that speaks directly to crime prevention in the short, medium, and long term.
Also among the changes that took effect today were Dr. the Most Honorable Jerome Walcott, who is now the Minister of Health and Wellness. Senator Lisa Cummins, former Minister of Tourism and International Transport, is the new Minister of Energy and Business Development with responsibilities for international business and trade, taking over from Kerry Simmons, who is now Minister of Foreign Trade and Foreign Affairs. Ian Goodinedgell, the new Minister of Tourism and International Transport, spoke to CBC News as he entered the tourism offices located in Warren St. Michael.
I pledge to continue to give of my best at all times in their best interests. I do so very conscious of the difficulties that await us as Barbados seeks to get maximum benefit from the areas of tourism and international transport. I say so fully convinced that we have the required talents and skills within us collectively to make the best use of all that awaits us in the dynamic world of which we are very much a part.
Barbados is one of 7 countries in the region committed to protecting its soil. And with that commitment, Phase 1 of the CSID's Soil Care Initiative was launched this morning at the Soil Conservation Unit in St. Andrew. Students and teachers from several schools across the island were on hand for the launch of Phase 1 of the Caribbean Small Island Developing States Multi-Country Soil Management Initiative for Integrated Landscape Restoration and Sustainable Food Systems. The participating countries are Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Belize, Grenada, Haiti, Jamaica and St. Lucia. The project is a partnership between the Global Environment Facility, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the Natural Heritage Department, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Nutritional Security. Permanent Secretary in that ministry, Terry Bascom, said several of the ministry's agencies are in the process of undertaking activities that will be reinforced by the implementation of the new project. He highlighted the planting of cuscus grass.
The BAMC has planted, as I said, 10 miles of that grass to reduce soil loss and erosion at about 8 plantations managed by government. A 2-acre cuscus grass nursery has also been established, and another 3 acres in size is being built out in the north of the island. The grass is also available to small farmers, so you can come and get your cuscus grass from the nursery and you can plant it at your own private properties. In terms of aquifer recharging, BAMC has completed 50 wells since the start of the program and have channeled previously wasted water from roads towards these wells.
Minister of the Environment and National Beautification, Adrian Ford, hailed the soil care project as one that will save the next generation.
Unless you have fertile soil, unless the soil is able to do what it intends to in terms of rehabilitating our ecosystem and allowing that diversity, then we will not be able not only to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal 15.3, but the Sustainable Development Goal 14 and 15. Land, both under and water, under the bottom of the ocean, and land, and life, on land. I think that is very important.
The regional executing agency for CSID Soil Care is a partnership initiative for sustainable land management. Representative Kiefer Jackson shared some of the aims.
Out of this project, we will be developing tools, policies, and best practices for the participating countries to achieve land irrigation neutrality, as well as was mentioned before, the Sustainable Development Goal, specifically 15.3. PSLM, as a homegrown regional organization, is pleased to be working with governments on this project, and specifically the government of Barbados. And we look forward to working with you for Phase 1 and beyond in the achievement of the 25 by 25 vision.
The launch ended with a tour of the Soil Conservation Unit. The Immigration Department rolled out its new training course called an Institutional Strengthening Clinic today. It is an initiative aimed at reshaping, retooling, and rebuilding the department to prepare it for the future. Minister of Home Affairs and Information, Wilfred Abrams, told participants it's an exercise that will touch everyone. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The Institutional Clinic training course is the first of its kind to be undertaken by the 43-year-old Immigration Department, and the Minister of Home Affairs and Information, Wilfred Abrams, told participants it comes ahead of the development of a new immigration policy. He said the origins of the clinic came from within the department, and kudos are in order for those behind it.
This department is a business which is in the business of providing immigration-related services to Barbados, Barbadians, and whoever needs to use it. We are a business.
The minister said the Immigration Department is a vital and important organ of government.
Our immigration policy is going to drive the development of Barbados. What our citizenship looks like, or what our landscape looks like in the next 5 to 10 years, who is working here, what skill sets are in Barbados, are going to be driven by the performance of this department. This is the most critical department right now for the advancement and development of Barbados and our economy.
Chief Immigration Officer Margaret Innes said the first tranche of clinics will run for 6 weeks, but the initiative will be developed into an academy for everyone.
We'll look at the theory aspect of it, legislation, policy. We're going to go into things like emotional intelligence, professional career development. Those are the top sorts of topics that we will look at. We're also going to have an expert come in and speak to border security and our major roles so that we can encourage middle managers. At the end of that, persons will be certified. They'll receive a certificate and perhaps a few awards.
The thinking behind the Instructional Strengthening Clinic initiative is to take the Immigration Department to the next level. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
All right, it's time to head on over to the sports studio to check out Damien Best. Damien, is it the luck of the Irish or are they just playing good cricket?
Good weather, Shane, and weather played its part today, definitely. But meanwhile, the other World Cup game between Afghanistan and New Zealand was abandoned without the ball being bowled. It means both teams have been awarded 1 point. Tonight's game will feature South Africa up against Bangladesh. That starts at 11 o'clock. Live coverage on MCTV's ESPN channel, that's 308. Well, Barbados Community College are off to a winning start in the National Sports Council Schools Under-19 basketball competition. Playing at the BCC gym, the hosts never trailed as they made light work of the Lodge School 58-21.
Schools basketball is back, folks. Host Community College in their traditional orange, taking on the Lodge School. Scott Wharton given too much space, drive into the hole. That's 2 of his 11 points. Then Anton Winter, blowing by a couple of defenders. Bucket and the fall. Says I'm built tough. Clear height and size advantage though. He would go on to miss the free throw. At the opposite end, the Lodge School were struggling to get on the scoreboard. And this was as hopeful as it comes. Nathan King from Steph Curry range, loving it. The college boys probably thought that was a fluke, but King was in the palace, dropping some gems. Absolute sugar from deep, nothing but net. Had a team high 10 points, supporters thrilled. But the Lodge School were lacking defensively against the BCC starting 5. Wharton never hesitating to get to the hole and finish. 18 points, separating the two teams at halftime. That's a triple. BCC sitting pretty, leading 28-10. Let's go second half. King with the weight of expectation turns the corner with a special delivery via the right hand, smooth as ever. Azario Trotman offering some assistance to his teammate, sets up shot for the deep 2, drills it. But BCC never trailed in this one, crashing the offensive board to add a few more. They lead 41-19. And things didn't improve in the fourth quarter for the boys from Massage Street, only scoring 2 points as the hosts tightened their grip defensively, pouring in 17 points of their own. BCC going on to win big, 58-21.
The Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
There's been a slow uptake of the Boss Plus bonds so far. That's according to Central Bank Governor Cleviston Haynes. He says different factors have impacted the pace of the initiative.
I would say somewhere around $9-10 million so far. I think, to be quite honest, some of the nervousness that persons have post debt restructuring has probably been amplified by some of the public debate that has taken place about the government's ability to repay debt over time, and I think that has probably impacted persons who may have been considering buying these bonds.
Governor Haynes says under the circumstances, the bank will need to get across the message to potential bond buyers that the borrowing the government is trying to achieve is consistent with the sustainable macroeconomic program.
We've said we want to bring the debt to GDP ratio down. That implies a certain level of borrowing that we have analyzed and sort of can build out how much borrowing you need on the assumptions of these are the primary balances, this is the growth that will be necessary to achieve that 60% target by 2035-36. And we believe that that is a sustainable level of indebtedness. It's not based on the stock, as I said earlier, but it is based on achieving the 60% ratio by 35-36.
Two Christchurch members of Parliament have given the thumbs up to the opening of the fourth colour shop of Berger Paints. Minister of Home Affairs and Information Wilfred Abrams and Christchurch South Member of Parliament Ralph Thorne, in congratulating the company, said the development shows commitment to Barbados. The opening of the colour shop at Worthing Christchurch also coincides with St. Christopher Community Centre winning the Berger Outreach Programme. Minister Abrams called it good corporate social responsibility.
I am actually very pleased at the news. We are looking forward to uplifting the area because we keep talking about corporate social responsibility, right? And what does that mean? It just basically means that those who benefit from communities should be able to put back into communities. That businesses should not only be about profits and enhancing their bottom line, but it must also enhance the experience for persons with whom they come into contact with. Those who contribute to making my business a success, I should also put something back to make their lives a little bit easier.
MP Thorne said the presence of the new shop is an effort worthy of emulation.
When you provide work, you are talking about engaging not only the hands, but the mind, and it speaks to permanence. Work involves not only money being given to persons who work, but it involves the question of dignity. Wilfred, and I would tell you that we represent people in constituencies, and we like to see them getting work, we like to see them making money. But beyond that, we like to see them having the experience of leaving home on mornings and going to a place and performing work, performing acts of dignity.
Berger is celebrating its 60th birthday in Barbados, and first female general manager Ria Singh unveiled the Boldly Berger initiative.
Berger, as I'm sure you know, is all about innovation. This year, we launched our new color system, which gives our customers the opportunity to select over 2,000 different colors. This offers a wide assortment of colors with low odor and low VOC in different options and different variety of formats. We continue to innovate our products with the most recent launch of our Berger brushing solution, and you would see that highlighted on one of our displays there.
Okay, heading back on over to the sports studio now for the second half of Sports with Damien.
Thanks so much, Shane. Well, former Barbados Olympian Samuel Adolphus Leo Garnes has been formally charged with indecent assault of a minor. 54-year-old Garnes of Merrick St. Philip is alleged to have committed the offence on October 2nd, 2022. He appeared in the District D Magistrates Court this morning before Magistrate Deborah Beckles and was granted bail to the tune of $10,000. This is not the first time Garnes has been before the courts. In 1999, he was found not guilty of a double murder charge in Alabama, United States. Now, Garnes, who held 5 national track records, competed at the 1992 Barcelona Olympiad in the men's 5,000 meters and is also head coach of a local track and field club Elite Distance, and he's also coach at the National Sports Council. Well, local karting champion Callum Maloney and esports racer Leon Seeley are in France to represent the Barbados Motoring Federation in the FIA Motorsport Games. Today was the opening ceremony for more than 70 national sporting authorities taking part in the event, which runs until Sunday. The Barbados team is being supported in France by head of delegation Warren Gollop, Dalen Downey, Danny Curley and Zane Maloney. Now, Zane, the 2022 FIA Formula 3 vice champion, will be coaching while also promoting Barbados as a motorsport destination. Circuit Paul Ricard, home of the French Grand Prix, is the venue for most of the 16 disciplines spanning a broad spectrum of motorsport, including Formula 4 and touring cars, as well as karting. The esports competition will take place in the Minstrel Hall.
And before we go, just a reminder that the program St. James Speaks with Joshua Hinkson is up next on TV8. That's our news. Good night and be good. Thanks for visiting us. To get more stories like this one, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.